On New Year's Day, we drove up north early in the morning. The incredible landscape changes were now obvious, with the flowers suddenly appearing where we only previously saw sticks, the devil's thorn lining the roads, and the three-thorn, Rivieren in Afrikaans, in abundance. Our morning game drive gave us an incredible display of herds coming down into the riverbed. They were all so playful, and many of the herds having newborn calves.
The oryx, or the painted-face antelope, as I like to call them, are remarkably beautiful with their markings and long horns. The oryx's horns can reach up to 120 centimeters in length, with the male's horns being longer and narrower than the female. They use their horns in territorial combat as well as lethal weapons against predators. Oryx have been known to kill lions when they are being attacked. We came across 1 or 2 territorial battles along one of our drives, which was very interesting to watch. With the rains now past, we were fortunate enough to not only see the transformation of the desert from arid to lush, but also the large springbok herds moving through the riverbed, now very green. We witnessed many young males practicing their fighting skills, which was interesting and very entertaining to watch.
As we drew closer to the end of our Nossob stay, we felt quite sad, on the one hand, but excited for the change and the next step in our adventure. Here's a shout out to all the awesome people we met, our fellow travelers that are watching. Thanks for adding to both ours and our children's memories. Shared experiences are by far the best experiences, and we had loads of fun with you guys. I think it's a good time to reflect on our time at Nossob in the summer, what we've learned and what we would recommend. The question of what car you should take to the Kgalagadi is a hotly contested one sometimes online. This trip in the summer Kgalagadi really set home to us why it is important to have a 4x4. We've been in the Kgalagadi with a 2x4. We've been in the Kgalagadi with a 4x4 with no low range, and now was the first time we were in the Kgalagadi with our Fortuno, which is a 4x4, which does have low range. The reason people suggest using a 4x4 in the Kgalagadi is because of what we experienced. Not only the severe corrugations and deep water, but also to keep the roads in better condition. You can do Rivieren and even Mata reasonably comfortably in a normal sedan. But when going to Nossob, those more remote areas become more challenging, and I certainly would not risk putting my car through that. It is a personal choice, but the idea of being stranded further north than Nossob especially is really quite terrifying. So when traveling to the Kgalagadi, be mindful of the season. Winter is safer than summer because there is less storms and rain, but be mindful of what you're putting your vehicle through too. It could end up in disaster. Ultimately, you can go to the Kgalagadi in really any vehicle, but choosing where you will be and at what season does make a difference.
We loved seeing all of the baby wildebeest crossing the road with their herds on a daily basis. They were super cute and kept our kids amused and intrigued. The name wildebeest itself is Dutch in origin. It means wild beast or wild oxen. The wildebeest are built for speed and endurance, capable of reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, which makes them very proficient in escaping their predators. Wildebeest primarily feed on grass. They have a blunt muzzle and a wide row of incisor teeth made for eating dense, short grasses. This single diet is super important for our ecosystem. Wildebeest are social animals and live in large herds, sometimes numbering in the tens of thousands. They communicate through sight and smell, but are also vocal. Their grunts and moans serve as signals, helping them stick together. We came across a couple of hartebeest during our stay at Nossob. I think even more so in this trip than others. I think this is attributed towards all the water around. We had some really cool encounters of them drinking water in the road. The hartebeest is apparently one of the fastest antelope and most endurance runners. One of the most distinguishing features of the hartebeest is its uniquely shaped horns. This adaptation helps them navigate through dense vegetation as well as defending themselves from predators. Hartebeest are social animals and commonly form large herds consisting of several individuals. These herds may include males and females of different age groups. The presence of many eyes and ears within these large herds help in predator detection, ensuring the safety in the group.
Our time at Nossob had been incredible. We had an especially awesome time with other campers and new acquaintances. Our kids were really sad to leave, but we knew that they would make new friends in new campsites as we moved on to Mata Mata. We really did our best to soak in our last day whilst packing up and preparing. In part 7, we travel to Mata Mata and set up for the next 2 days, where we have some rather interesting encounters with lion, as well as many beautiful sightings of birds of prey.